All right, so we are getting back to work on collision stuff. So we've got the silver Dodge. We're gonna be getting this wrapped up today and hopefully have it in primer so we can get it ready for paint. We brought in the SRT HellCat. This thing is super awesome, but it's got a lot of damage. Hillbilly's gonna be working on this while I'm working on this. Goal today is to get the engine and transmission completely out of the HellCat so that we can show you guys the extent of the damage when this thing hit a pole. We wanna make sure it's done correctly, so we're stripping this thing down to where we can fix it and put a new rail in it and not have any issues. There's a lot of little damage everywhere because after it wrecked, it went through a fence. So the scratches and dings and dents. So we're gonna be assessing all that stuff too, and possibly starting some body work, but who knows? We'll just see how far we get. Hillbilly, Demery noticed that that's very dirty.
What does she recommend we do?
Clean it so you can see where all the damage is before you put it up on the lift.
Is that good?
Yep, great. We're gonna wash it with soap?
Should I?
I don't know.
Or should I just rinse it off?
I don't know.
We'll see what rinsing it off does and go from there.
All right, so coming up is a super amazing Baywatch montage of Hillbilly washing the car.
Time out. What's Baywatch? Well, perfect. I don't have to do it now because you just done it.
No, it's for you. But just like that.
Do I need to put my shirt up into it?
Yeah, tie it in a little bow.
Perfect. I'm not quite certain about this Baywatch thing.
Are you now offering car washes?
Negative. That's one thing I'm not good at, amongst other things, but that's the biggest thing. Time to rinse. Missed a lot of spots. You see them?
Yeah.
So we wasn't able to show you the car getting pushed in because the boss was helping me push it in. I'm just trying to figure out how this rocker molding comes off so we can get it off before we can lift it up. Because they have to come off so when we do bodywork and paint, they're off. And I'm not able to put it on the lift because the rocker molding goes all the way to the pinch weld where you lift from. So I'm not able to get the pinch weld, to lift it up, to take the rocker molding off because it's in the way. So I'm gonna lay on my back and get it off.
Why are you screaming?
I had the rocker molding off and I couldn't get up, so I had to have Robby grab it.
Hefe looks so much like me, it's gross. I just got FaceTimed, and Hefe is down there posing as me in Matt's videos.
So I'm just here to paint Hefe's Bronco since he broke all the parts on it because nobody can build a car like me. I wanted a Derby for the YouTubers. Crap, I forgot to blow, tack, and static it.
You guys need to go there, drop a comment, and let him know that he is an imposter. There's only one Robby. Dollar store Hefe, he's on his way.
So there's not even a dollar store Robby?
No, it just looks like the real Robby. Except for I need braces. I should put tinfoil in my mouth. Then I could be Hefe.
Oh, no way. I hope it unlocks. Because if not, it's going to be a bad day.
Why?
Because I have to open it to get the rocker molding off. Well, it was locked, so let's hope that was all that was wrong. Okay, good. Oh, just kidding. It's already all popped off. We'll need all new rocker panel or rocker molding clips and probably a whole new rocker molding for this side because it's broken. And that's why we'll need a new one. Hello. So now I can finally get it on the hoist, the lift, and get it lifted up. We're all ready to go up. The hoist's set, but first I need to go find a jump box to hook it up to the car so I can get this trunk popped so I can get the rear bumper off. Got the jump box. I hope it's charged. Should I stick my earrings and turn it on, see if it works?
Yep.
No thanks. I don't like electricity and electricity don't like me. So the battery's in the trunk. So they have two spots right here, positive and ground. You hook to when you're jumping a car or in this case, to open the trunk. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it opens.
Ooh.
It opened!
Do you know how to take a bumper off?
Yeah, but I'm thinking that it's going to be best if I lift the car up and take these tires off because I got to pull the splash shield to get to the bumper. So, up we go. Okay, so now both tires are off. Now they're out of my way so I can get these splash shields to get the bolts to the bumper. And there's all these little clips that you gotta pop. Get the splash shield out. There's one there, 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 bolt there, another bolt there. There's a lot.
Wait, where?
The whole splash shield. So Robby, I think this guy does a lot of burnouts. That's all rubber. So it's all loose, but this one twist clip just twists onto a stud. I had it almost all the way off, and then I accidentally pushed it back on. There we go. Finally got it. Now you can really see all that rubber.
He doesn't mess around.
No, he don't. And there's the bolts I needed to get to. I don't know if you can see it. There's one there. Chunk of rubber. Finally got that one done. Splash shields are done.
I've got this all 180'd. I'm gonna blow it off and then go mix up some glaze. What the glaze is it's just a very thin layer that we put over it to kind of lock everything in. We'll get that all blocked out and then sand it with 320, mask it, prime it, and it'll be ready. But while I'm doing that, Hillbilly's still working on the SRT HellCat. He's getting a lot of stuff done, but he went outside to work on that bed because I've got to glaze the bed where he did a little bit of bodywork, so. I don't know if you remember or not, but from the last video, I explained to you guys why I tape things. When I glaze or I put filler work down, I like to tape where I don't want the filler. And then I just peel the tape off and it saves tons of time on sanding. You know how much I love sanding. I like it a lot. So I'll get this all taped up, get some glaze mixed, get some glaze spread. Maybe we'll let it harden while we go to lunch. I think it's coming up on lunchtime.
So I'm gonna tap this eyebrow in a little bit so it's not high. And then Robby's gonna spread a little bit more glaze on it. Feels good for me, but I don't have much feeling in my hands.
I can still feel it. So I'm gonna grab a hammer and we're gonna tap the eyebrow in for Hillbilly. The thing about metal is an eyebrow is created from pressure. So you gotta release pressure. You've gotta give metal somewhere to go. You can't just smash it in. So I give it a little bit of pressure to where when I tap it, it goes where I ask it to. Now we're moving. I'll leave it there. I don't wanna overdo it, just a little bit. Glaze that, block it.
So now I'm just undoing the bumper so we can get this rear bumper pulled off.
All right, so Hillbilly's taking this up. He's getting the rear bumper off, and then we're gonna really dive into this thing. There's a lot of issues going on here, like everywhere. This thing pulls a trailer. But look, it's got an actual hitch. It's bolted straight to the frame. That's legit. Doesn't look as bad as I expected though under here. Oh, wow. Look, they're hit. Look at that cute little cross member. That's tiny. The heat shield. Oh, probably from a factory exhaust. This doesn't have factory exhaust anymore. But it went under the drive shaft. Oh, it's not that bad. I actually fully expected this to have the rails just smashed. Look, it's just out towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Still thinking about dropping a motor?
Yes, because we got to change that apron.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, we need a new cross member. We're pulling the drivetrain out regardless because it needs a lot of work, and this is gonna allow for us to fix it. So we're still gonna drop the drivetrain, but that frame rail is not as bad as I thought. But by dropping the drivetrain, we can get into that apron, we can get everything fixed, and get it done properly. Hillbilly's gonna continue to get this thing all torn apart. I'm gonna go back to glazing the other project. It's real thin. Try to keep my lines minimum. Okay, we started out here so we don't forget. Now we'll go in and do the truck.
What's the difference between Bondo and glazed?
Bondo can be thick. Glaze is just really, really thin. I almost want to pull these transparent. Just a little tiny, tiny bit. You can also put glaze over sanded paint. Bondo, you don't want to put over paint. Or plastic filler, I mean.
In the glaze.
Oops, she put the mic in the glaze. That's fine. No, then the mic will actually hear this stuff.
So I almost got one side of this bumper completely free. It's just this one stud, or this one clip that stopped me after further investigating.
Huh? Just that easy.
Well, now to that side, I thought pulling the tail light.
Yeah. All right, so Hillbilly's gonna get this taillight pulled. He was having some trouble getting the bumper off. So we pop the tail light out. There's a clip right here that doesn't want to release. We need to check everything for damage.
Last tail light, and then the bumper will fall off.
It's not falling.
In 2. I can't get my fingers in there. Robby, I can't get my fingers in there to pop this.
Have no fear,
Baby fingers are here.
for I can do it.
I feel like his fingers aren't baby fingers.
They're just normal fingers.
They're just not.
They're just not gorilla sausages. Got it. All right. Now the bumper hath fallen off. I'm gonna block out this glaze with 180. Once we're done blocking it with 180, we just 320 on a DA. Get all of our 180 scratches out, and then it's primer ready. But you want to crisscross. Any of my OG sanding watching viewers, you might remember from back in the day when we did a little project called the Golden Nugget, and we sanded for 6.5 months straight. We taught you how to sand. Let me show you just a little glimpse today on how to sand properly. You don't want to just go straight the whole time because you'll actually just make it too flat. This way you follow the contour of the steel and you blend in the filler to the panel. And I'm holding it away from the, I got my hand under there because I don't want to sand the back door. This is a brand new OEM panel that came with a little bit of damage. And you can tell when you're done sanding by the way it looks. So it gets really transparent around the edges. Ooh, that feels real nice. Got a little bit more I need to do here. Light pressure, and just let the sandpaper do the work.
Whoa, holy smokes.
What?
Come look at this. They ripped the bushing completely, the center pin completely out of the bushing. Rubber bushing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all pushed out through. It's gonna be fun to get that off.
Everything's just kind of like mangled up around the suspension. I've just about got the doors and the cab corner done. Then we're gonna head to lunch and come back, and after lunch I'm gonna finish the rocker and finish the bed, and all the bodywork will be just about done. Still Billy's getting a lot done on the HellCat, so once I get this all finished up, I'll be able to assist him on that.
So right now I'm working on getting all the wiring unmangled out of there so we can get the wiring harness and the computer, or the wiring harness and fuse box off of here and out of our way to where we can get this motor dropped.
Hillbilly, I don't know about you, but I'm starving. It's time to go to lunch.
I've been starving.
We're back from lunch. Hillbilly's getting back to work on this. I'm gonna get all masked up because I gotta go sand for the next couple hours. You guys get to see some exciting stuff coming up.
From me or you?
Well, from both. Did you have a good lunch?
Yes, I did. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Had mac and cheese with ketchup.
I had mac and cheese with shrimp
Ketchup's better.
from Charlie's.
And then to top it off, I had a moon pie for dessert.
And we had blueberry pie. Just like that, it's done. I like to lay down on the job, really be one with the sanding. Got this all sanded out. Now we can go back in and lay on the floor in there. The old ball and chain just pointed out a dent right here as we were walking away. She said, "You gonna fix that?" Why, yes. In fact, yes I am. So we're gonna need to get the maxi. We'll grind that out, we'll pull it, we'll sand it, we'll do all the things. The reason we're gonna do that is we're already painting this panel. We don't have anything to butt match against, so it doesn't matter about blending. If you don't fix those, shame on you. Now we don't always fix them because sometimes we miss stuff. You know, we don't fix rock chips because everybody in the world complains if you miss a rock chip. So policy, rock chips stay, but dents, if we can fix dents, we fix them.
I'm gonna try to pop this hose off without making a mess everywhere. One coolant reservoir, expertly uninstalled. One more bolt and the AC condenser will come out. Oh wow, more than just AC condensers will come out. The second cooler.
I'm gonna 320 everything. I've got it all sanded and dialed in. Sanded out, 320, 600, then we'll start masking it. But I've gotta fix the dent on that bedside still. So we've got a little bit more work, but closer to hitting our goal. Then I'm gonna come help Hillbilly get this engine out. It's coming along.
Working on getting this drive line pulled.
I'm using my maxi as a tool holder.
Well, you just parked it right in my way, so I might as well use it. Robby, we're gonna have to Loctite these when we put them back on.
Okay, just that easy. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I'll grind it, then I'll glaze it, and then I'll sand it, and I'll spare you guys the boring details of sanding. So I'll show you when this dent's fixed.
Drive lines are all unbolted from the transfer case, or the transmission and the rear differential. All I got left to do now is get it out. Got 2 bolts to undo right there, and it's done. Uh-oh. Maybe let's come out this side first. Nope. There's the drive shaft. They're not just coming out. They're bent really bad from the accident. Wow, Robby, we may need to get a new header. Oh, it's egg-shaped and mashed and smashed, and it's supposed to be perfectly round. That's not so perfectly round.
I've got everything sanded out, pretty good. I've got this dent all fixed. Got it smoothed out. Oh, got some scratches here. So you want to wipe off your panel, check for scratches, make sure you get them. Because scratches are what create rings. This thing's been painted before. I'm going through layers and layers and layers. And we painted it and they didn't really prep it before.
I'm doing the steering off of the rack and pinion because we're dropping the whole sub cradle right out with the motor on there.
I've just about got this masked, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna prime this with Cody. So Cody's got a bed that he just got fixed, and we're just gonna kind of bounce back and forth with some edge primer on it, some normal primer on it, and yeah, and we'll have it taken care of. Got the bed all fixed. Hillbilly's getting as far as he can. I don't know if we're gonna have that dropped out today. That's turning into a lot bigger job than we planned. As soon as I get this primed, I'll see if there's time left to help him out. If not, we'll have gotten as far as we can. All this paper for such a small amount of primer, but we need to control our overspray so that it doesn't go on spots that we don't want primed. We take our time and we mask it up.
Hello there. Just getting everything bolted off from the upper A-arm and down. That's bolted to the body. I'm like the brakes, I'm getting wired up because we're undoing the nut here. Then I'm doing the 4 engine cradle mount bolts, and then the ones on top, and just lifting the car right off of the subframe.
Why did you get a hammer?
Because these are tapered. The whole of this is tapered, and the shank of the ball joint's tapered. So when you tighten it down, it doesn't just pop off. It's pressed in. When you tighten it down, it presses itself in there. Then you just tap the sides here, and it goes punk and falls right out.
Did you need that big of a hammer for this?
Bigger the hammer, the less you have to swing. Like that.
All right, so one of the processes of working on a collision job is you've got to make sure that you get photos for your supplement. So this is my supplement sheet. I got my R&Is, my repair, and my replaces. So I pull up my CCC app. I'm gonna hurry and take pictures of all of this so that it's in the file, because you can always delete photos, but you cannot retake them. I'm gonna make sure that I have everything that I need and order up some parts. And then we're gonna wax and grease this. Cody's grabbing some primer, and we'll go ahead and etch it and prime it. And we'll have this thing, all the bodywork done. So we just found a little bit of damage right here. This is called indirect damage. The damage, I'm really white. You see my face is white.
Yeah, you start.
Thinks I'm a mime. Anyway, we got some indirect damage right here. You can tell by the paint coming off. Once we pull this front end around, that should square this up. But we've also got a little bit of indirect damage, and yours truly found the damage. She spotted that. She catches on so fast. So that's indirect damage. What that is damage from energy dispersing in other spots where it wasn't hit. You got damage over here, indirect damage over here, because energy passes through in an accident, and it's designed to actually go through and around the occupant. This car did its job. We're gonna put it back to crash worthiness. If anybody in the collision industry understands, you're not putting it back to pre-accident condition, because that's not real. You're repairing the vehicle back to crash worthiness. What that means is that the next time this thing wrecks, hopefully it doesn't, but it's gonna crash and it's gonna absorb the energy the exact way the engineers designed it to do it. You gotta be very, very careful and very particular when you're fixing structural panels on a vehicle, because it's gotta be fixed in a way that it can sustain an accident again. So remember that, kids. Hillbilly, let's use our Challenger lift, EV battery lift. So we've got a electric vehicle battery lift from Challenger Lifts that we haven't used for its actual use. We'll use it to pull the engine and transmission out of this HellCat. It'll work perfect. So thank you, Challenger Lifts.
You think it'll hold it?
Do you know how much those electric batteries weigh?
You know how much this motor, tranny, and subframe weighs?
There's no way. This whole car is maybe... Actually, I don't know how much this car weighs, but maybe you guys do. Anybody know how much a HellCat 4-door Charger 2017 model... Is this a 17? Something like that model. I guarantee the owner knows how much it weighs because he races it with a trailer. So, chime in. Let us know. We're going to exceed its lifting capacity by putting the engine and transmission on it.
3,934 pounds to 4,575 pounds.
That's the full car.
Total weight, yeah, so there's no way the engine's 3,000. We're safe. We determined we're safe. If we set it down on the lift table, then we can control it. What we can do is go up, bring the lift table to it, start bringing the lift table down, get the wiring undone. Look at that. See? Challenger's coming in clutch today. We got a Challenger CL16 and a Challenger EV lift table, and we have a HellCat, and that's all that matters. All right, so we have 18 minutes until we have a soccer game. So, unfortunately, HellCat motor's not coming out today, but we're gonna hurry and get this primed up, and then we're gonna watch my son play soccer. So you wanna get all your bare metal spots with etch. This is acid etch. It actually bites into the metal because normal primer does not adhere to bare metal. Got my first coat of primer on. We'll let this flash off, then we'll come back in and get a second and a third coat on. All right, so we've got this all primed, got it as far as we can get it. Cody's gonna prime the bed with the other bed that he's doing tonight, and we're not quite getting the motor dropped out of the HellCat, but it's close. So Hillbilly's got everything disconnected. We just need to get a cart under it to drop the motor and tranny out, so that's gonna have to wait till next time. So as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoy this video, go check out this one.